Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of First Person with a new sponsor this week for 2013, the Ruin Camp Farm Drainage Company in Fort Laramie. With 80 years of residential, farm, and commercial experience, they'll make water work for you if you got wet fields or even a wet basement. They can help you dry out. Give them a call, Phil Barhorst at Ruin Camp's Farm Drainage in Fort Laramie. From Troy Christian High School this week with the head coach of the Eagles, Ray Zawadzki. We've talked before. It's always fun to talk with you because you are a basketball guy.
Been born back.
You really are. You're off to a 12-2 start this year, Raymond, and I know you're excited. It's a young program. You're building this thing like we talked last year. And tell us how you've gotten there.
Well, one step at a time, really, Sonny. It's just been a challenge right from the beginning, but our kids have bought into hard work, togetherness, and just commitment of time to the game of basketball. One
of the things, and we sat here almost a year to the day, because I looked at my calendar from last year, and we talked about the youth. You talked about young kids that really wanted to play, wanted to learn, that were coachable, had fun with the game, and you also mentioned the fact of we need to play better people. And I know you've strengthened your schedule because your record 12-2 is principally built upon the Metro Buckeye League, but you have gone out and beefed this up. I know you played Tri-Village, you're playing Lehman this week, so you're playing some better people. That's important.
Well, we've added quality opponents with quality coaches. You know, we got Houston also this weekend, which is a
John
good game.
Willoughby?
Yeah, Franklin Monroe was a good game for us. Always Miami East and Allen Mack is a huge challenge. We went up to New Bremen, the first game on the road, so first time we've ever been in the MAC conference. So that was good for our kids to find out, oh my gosh, they're physical play. So we had to make an adjustment there. You know, we came back the next week, and the kids were like, "We got to get better, coach." And this is what you want. You want your kids to be challenged so that when it comes tournament time, they're at their peak.
One of the things, an announcement that was made recently this week, I believe is going to pay dividends even for the basketball program. Other programs here athletically at Troy Christian is the announcement that Steve Nolan is coming on board as the football coach here. I know that your kids had to suck in some air and say, wow, you didn't play football last year, but I know the kids here who did have to look forward to that, and there has to be a carryover effect to other sports where everything gets better.
Truly, the wow wasn't just from my basketball players. The wow was from the Troy Christian family. I think the wow was from the city of Troy. I think the wow went a little bigger. I think that, you know, kudos to the administration. They went out and found a quality person and a quality coach to come and coach football here. It should have a huge impact, not just on the school, but also the basketball program, the baseball program. It's a good thing for Troy Christian.
The man won 202 games across town, and you know winning is contagious.
Yes, it is.
We've talked throughout the course of this basketball season, Raymond, with coaches who have lamented the fact that teams are shooting 60% area wide from the free throw line. They're not as fundamentally as sound as what I'm sure you as a coach would like to see your team even play. You come from a basketball legacy, a heritage of 50 years in the Miami Valley, as you and your father when he was at Vandalia Butler. A lot of them point the finger at AAU basketball. Some of them point the finger at kids being asked to do too much, playing too many sports. I'm going to give you your opportunity to weigh in on that because you are known as a very fundamentally sound guy.
Yeah, you know, AAU basketball it really takes a lot of time for kids. You know, you look at Tri-Village right now, 17-0, not one of those kids played AAU basketball.
Or play football for that matter.
Or play football. So what you said, you know, AAU and other time commitments, they're 17-0 because those kids are able to commit time to the fundamentals of the game. You know, here right now, we're sitting at, you know, 14-2. I only have one kid that played AAU. Happens to be my son, so I can monitor his time and make sure he's out in the driveway getting his 100 free throws in a day. I can also make sure that he's working on ball handling, working on jump shots, things that a lot of AAU kids don't. I believe that AAU has its place. It's probably for those higher kids that are going to go on to play at the next level. And I believe they start way too soon with AAU.
Yeah, because you got 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade. I mean, you got really kids that are that young that are hard to coach once you get them home. Hard to break some bad habits.
It is.
We talked a little bit about last year, the fact of, as you said, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, The one thing I have on to my advantage here is time. It takes time to build a program. It takes time for kids to grow. It takes time for kids to learn, particularly if they're committed. You know, this is your 4th season here.
Yes.
Rate the 4 years.
Well, we started with 4 wins in year 1, 14 in year 2, 17 in year 3, and we're at 14 right now with 6 more to go plus the tournament. So we have tracked the way I kind of planned. You know, you look at Christian Salazar, who came to me as a freshman, who could barely get up and down the floor. Last game he had 23 points, 20 rebounds. You know, he's now the all-time career rebound leader at Troy Christian. So there's other examples. Nathan Kirkpatrick was a pure baseball player when we got here. Now he's a defensive specialist that nobody wants him to defend them. You know, so it's just, it's fun to watch how the kids have bought in to what we preach, and it's also fun that they're starting to, you know, reap some of the benefits.
I tell you another good thing about what you're doing here. We've been to a couple of your games this year. This place is full. It's enthusiastic. They're loud. They're proud of what you've accomplished. That's important.
Well, it was hard. You know, and it's what has happened is it's not that the basketball team just won. It's become a we as a school have just won.
Right.
We have been able to connect the team to the student body, to the cheerleaders, to the, you know, pep band, and now everybody's involved. And when we win, they all feel like they've won. And it's you're going to see tonight that we're going to have a huge crowd.
First time you sit down with Steve Nolan for lunch, I want you to call me. I'd like to be a mouse under the table.
I think we're introducing you tonight, so
All
we're
right.
real excited about that.
All right, thanks a lot. Great to
Thank
see
you.
and best of luck the rest of the
All
way.
right, thank you, Sonny.
That wraps up this week's edition with Coach Zawadzki of First Person, again brought to you this year and this week by the Ruin Camp Farm Drainage Company in Fort Laramie. 80 years of experience in farm, residential, and commercial. They'll make water work for you. Again, for our sponsors and our guests, appreciate your support of high school sports here on Press Pros. We'll see you again next time with another edition of First Person.